Get some ideas when it's your turn.
It's not telling me. Can anyone see whether or not we're? Yes, yes, we are live, I believe.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Weymouth Town Council Licensing and Planning. Any members of the public, good evening, if you're joining us online. And we will start with item 1, which is apologies for absence.
Yeah, we have apologies from Councillor Furman, who is substituted by Councillor Bell. And apologies from Councillor Taylor and Councillor Dickens. We're expecting Councillor Surrey to substitute for Councillor Taylor. He may be having problems parking this evening.
Nice. So if I could have a Councillor Rowell, seconded by Councillor Bell. All those in favour of accepting those substitutions and apologies?
Thank you.
That's unanimous. We go on straight into item 2, which is declarations of interest. Ask if any interest regarding any item on the agenda. No. Nope. Thank you. Should you see that there is, by all means, speak up straight away. Item 3, minutes of the last meeting. I'm sure we've all had a good look through them. Does anybody wish to raise anything in those minutes? No. Well, I'll propose that we accept the minutes, seconded by Councillor Clifford. All those in favour? Any abstentions? One abstention. Good evening, Mike. And we're now joined by Councillor Surrey. We can now go on to item 4. Do we have any public? No. No. So we can go straight into item 5, which is items for discussion.
Okay,
And
let me just find this one.
Yeah.
And Councillor Orwell wanted to discuss this one.
Yes, it was. Thank you. I'll put that in 2. It was mainly just to give them a bit more of an emphasis and a push after what happened in Southfield, which was a real shame that our endorsement was interpreted as lack of support. It was. So yeah, so these 2 are quite important. I didn't want to debate them for very long, just wanted to make sure we gave it a more positive spin. So the Malcolm House one, that's something that's been tried to get going for several years now. It's going to be really helpful for helping small businesses in Weymouth. They've struggled to find a venue. They weren't even in the peninsula, but this is a good location. It's quite close to the station and car parking. So it looks like a very valid proposal. I haven't got any planning objections to it. It's slightly above the flood zone, so I wanted just to actively back it rather than passively cease resisting.
What word would you like to use then, John, on this one?
Enthusiastically support.
I think support's the key word.
Yes, yeah.
That's what we've discovered.
Yes.
Anything else?
That's it.
No. Okay, so we have a proposal, seconded by Councillor Bell. All those in favour of that? And that's unanimous.
Thank you.
And then the next one I take it is Weymouth Harbour.
Yeah, it's similar logic. I
Yeah.
just wanted this to be unequivocally supporting this because it's vital for the economic regeneration of the town.
Yeah.
And they've got the money, so they just get on with it. So we just again actively support and look forward to its prompt and timely delivery.
Maybe you could cut a ribbon on the.
Indeed, that'd be quick if they're going to get that by May.
So actively support and look forward to.
Timely delivery.
Councillor Surrey volunteered to provide the red ribbon.
Yes.
Thank you.
So again, we have the proposal from John. Would anybody else like to talk on Weymouth Harbour? No, I'm just fully in agreement with John myself.
Exactly.
So it's proposed by Councillor Orwell, seconded by Councillor Clifford. All those in favour? And that is unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
now Councillor Bell, did you want,
Absolutely. Yes, I do.
no, did you want to bring forward the Premier Inn application to this item?
Yeah.
So if we could have a quick vote just to agree that it's brought forward from item 6.
Six, yeah. Well, I'll propose it. Seconded by councillor Sewell. All those in favour? That's agreed.
Okay. Fire away then, councillor Bell.
Absolute same logic. Again, coming off the back of what we've learned over recent weeks. It's in a prime location. It's not in my town council ward, but it is in my Dorset council ward. So it's basically the Premier Inn have seemingly stopped maintaining the Beefeater building quite some time ago. They're replacing it with an annex of, I think it's 36 bedrooms and a restaurant for the hotel guests.
Is it just the restaurant for the hotel guests?
That's how it reads.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to be another Beefeater then
Not as I
for the
understand
general
it.
public.
Not as I understand it. However, it's again, same logic. I want us to support it positively because it's a prime location. We need a building that's well maintained there. And also if it's 36 beds filled with
Paying customers.
paying customers and paying tourists and all those things, it's good for the economy.
Yeah.
Let's get them in.
And a walkway built through to the park and ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted same logic.
Yeah.
To push our support for it.
What have we got written there?
Okay, so we're going to actively, positively support the application. It's in a prime location. It'll be filled with tourists, which is good for the economy and yeah. Location filled with tourists, good for it.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So councillor Bell is going to propose it, seconded by councillor Clifford. All those in favour? So that's unanimous again.
thank you very much.
Do we have any other?
So we've had one application received shortly before legal dispatch, 16 Mead Road. It's whether or not anyone wants to discuss it or whether they want to move it into item 6.
Could we bring it up just in case people haven't seen it?
Yeah, absolutely. Plan, if you like to look at the existing elevations
Yeah.
and then the proposed. And see if I can spin that.
Updated.
Don't think it's going to let me spin it round, which is disappointing. Hang on.
So it's to erect a new dwelling,
Bingo.
isn't it?
So that's the
Whose ward is this one in?
The town,
DT4
it's
see sounds DT4
Harrison Bound.
could be yeah.
the Harrison Bound.
Yeah.
The town. And my Patchford also.
Okay. So yeah, these are the current elevations.
But is it demolish and erect?
Just
Has anybody got it on Google Maps?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So it's right at the end of the road. Currently quite a wooded plot. Plenty of space around it.
Yeah. So, any objection to this? Anybody?
Scan. Are there any comments on it yet? Phone's been very slow.
What's the officer response?
so this is the officer response to the pre-application advice by the looks of things.
keep it there as it's set back in the site, so the overall mass is likely to be acceptable.
Well, I can't see anything. No, so should we move this into item 6? Along with no objections? I'll propose, anybody, councillor Bell seconded, all those in favour? Thank you very much.
I'm guessing you don't.
And just to be safe, has anybody got anything in item 6 that they would like to bring out? No. Evening.
Evening, I really should have cycled.
Yeah.
Almost like council's putting on an event.
Well, then, if nobody's got anything in item 6, we can go through with our normal response of no objection.
Proposed and seconded, please. if there's-
Yeah. Well, I'll propose. Do we have a second then? Seconded by councillor Arundel. All those in favour? And that's unanimous. We now move on to item 7, which is tree preservation orders. And they're on one. No. Item 8, planning applications. For tree-related planning applications, the standard response wording of Weymouth Town Council supports this application. However, requests that at least 2 climate change tolerant trees are planted in lieu of each tree that is proposed to be removed. And we submit that as our standard response.
Yeah.
Is that what everybody's happy with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I'll propose it. Seconded by councillor Bell. All those in favour? Thank you very
I
much.
think that's just an information
Information
item.
item, yeah.
Yeah, the comments have already been submitted.
We now go to item 9, which is appeals. And we have an appeal, land east of Mandeville Road. Can you remember this one, John?
We've had recurrent applications in that area.
Yeah.
It's kind of creeping out towards the fleet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think. But we kept resisting on the grounds it was outside the development boundary and would spoil the coast.
And it's to do with wildlife corridors as well. This was, I was on.
Yeah, I think Nikki put our response up.
Yeah, our original response
Response was-
is detailed. Planning and Licensing Advisory Committee previously considered the application at its meeting held on 30th of January 2024. At that time, the council objected to the proposals on the grounds of paragraphs 2.6, 7.5 and 7.6, as well as policy 8 in the Chickle neighbourhood plan. The site is outside of the development boundary and any development should have a mix of tenure. In addition, there are concerns regarding transport and whether Camp Road can accommodate the extra traffic.
The highways don't think that the road junction, as you come down Camp Road and you join Lanehouse Rocks Road, they don't think that that junction is actually fit for purpose. I agree. But I don't know what they're going to do to try and improve it. Yeah. But what we've got to decide is, do we stick with our original? Or would somebody like to support or change it? Councillor Clifford.
I'm happy to stick with the original. I'd like us to add and would support Chickerell Town Council, who are equally opposed to this plan.
No. So keep original objections and add that we support Chickle Town Council who equally oppose this plan.
So, anybody else like to talk about land east of Mandeville Road?
Could I just on procedure, so the first sentence says an appeal has been made to the Secretary of State. But then we talk about the procedure that I'm more familiar with, that it's refused by the council, it then goes to the planning inspectorate. And after that, perhaps goes to the Secretary of State.
It goes to Dorset Council have refused it.
Yeah.
This is why they're making the appeal.
Yeah, But they're not appealing at the moment to the Secretary of State, they're appealing to the planning inspectorate, I assume.
Couldn't honestly say.
And
This
that's
is,
the normal course of events.
this is the text that's been taken from the notification that Dorset Council sent us.
We're opposing the grounds of the appeal, no matter where it's going.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Because it usually goes to Bristol.
It does, yeah.
yeah.
Very good. No more comments.
Okay, so councillor Clifford proposing that
Happy
Yeah,
to.
response, and a seconder, please.
councillor Bell. All those in favour? That's unanimous. We then have a second. St Andrews Avenue. This is again. Could we bring up what we said at the original?
Certainly, Planning and Licensing Advisory Committee previously considered this application at its meeting held on the 13th of August 2024. At that time, the council's standard response of the council supports this application and raises no objection was submitted.
Do we know why they refused it? We don't do it usually.
Yes, I can find out
Yeah.
because the decision notice. Button, sorry. Apologies. It might have been around scale, but
It is not a lot of space around it, I suspect, is the sheet.
yeah, the proposed development would result in a significantly prominent and dominant development that would detract from the character and appearance of the area. Scale and proportions of the extensions as a whole are not considered to be subordinate additions to the main dwelling house. In addition, the two-storey side extension being built up to or close to the adjacent public footpath connecting St Andrews Avenue to Headley Road would result in unduly dominating and large expanse of brickwork and cladding, which is considered would be oppressive and dominant feature in the public realm. The resulting proposed appearance of the extension would therefore not reflect a sympathetic build, nor would it effectively be in keeping with the character of the original building. For these reasons, it's considered the proposal would be contrary to policies ENV 10, ENV 12 of West Dorset, Weymouth and Portland Local Plan, Para 135 of the National Planning Policy Framework, and the policy document of the former Weymouth and Portland Borough Council entitled Urban Design Supplementary Planning Guidance 2022, which also a material consideration.
Can you put up the location map, please?
I certainly can.
Because I'm pretty certain Google Maps has got the number 39 house in one place.
Number 39 is right at the top of the road.
Is it on the little curve round at the end,
By those modern ones.
at the end of Haverley, to butt up against those?
Yeah, so hang on, let's have a look. Where's my location?
Google Maps has got a long place.
Okay.
Got it between 25, 26 and 27, which seems odd.
Road with bushes on it.
So is there even a location? It might be easier for me to get Google Maps up, actually.
I think I might need to declare an interest at this point. It's a former colleague of mine's house, if it's the one we think it is.
Bear with.
Does that count as an interest? It's not
Do it.
clear, right?
With you shortly.
39 after.
So let's spin it round. It's literally, it's this one.
Okay, yeah, that is an ex-colleague of mine.
And this is the footpath that takes you up through to Headley Road.
I reckon the two-storey extension is going to detract from the area.
So if I,
I'm missing something.
Chairman, do I need to declare that or not?
Well, you can, yeah, if you're uncertain, best to declare it.
It's an ex-colleague of mine.
Yeah, yeah, just don't talk on it and don't vote on it.
What's there?
Well, the thing we've got to decide is, do we still stick with no objection, or do we say we
I
support the?
don't know if we can change, because household refusals are slightly different, so the recommendation is slightly different.
I'm very happy with continuing our stance.
So all we can do is leave what we've already submitted or withdraw. We have no ability to comment on this one.
We just leave it as is? Yeah? Yeah. So we have a proposer in councillor Rowell, seconded by councillor Clifford. All those in favour? And I'm going to leave my councillor down there as an
Abstention.
abstention. Is that all right, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to follow the right course of action, that's all.
We come next to the Curtis Fields, which is, again, we have our original.
Yeah, so this was one around reducing the percentage of affordable housing, I understand.
Yeah.
Planning and Licensing Advisory Committee previously considered the application at its meeting held on 5th of December 2023. At that time, the council objected to the application on the basis that previous profits have not been considered, that the sensitivity analysis shows that with only small changes in costs or selling prices, 30% might be possible. Betterment Homes should be held to their commitment of 30%. The basis for approval of this site was on the basis of affordable homes being included. Weymouth has a shortage of affordable homes and can't afford to lose this promised commitment.
Anybody else?
Stick with it.
Stick with it, stick.
Yeah, stick with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a proposer from councillor Tim,
Yeah.
seconded by,
I'll second.
yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, show of hands, please.
Show of hands, all those in favour?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the old viability coming back in, John. We now come to Pirates Lane, White Regis. This was an interesting one. From our original about the legal.
Yeah, application was considered by Planning and Licensing Committee at its meeting held on 26th of March 2024. At that time, the council objected on the grounds of a potential legal dispute regarding the land. At the same time, it was recognised that the plot owner was trying to do the right thing.
Obviously, they're appealing against.
And this one, we are able to make comments or modify or withdraw our previous representation.
Is the word potential still valid?
Potential legal.
Has it been resolved or was it ongoing? Or?
It was,
No idea. Let's see if there's anything.
previous councillor knew a lot about it because it was her ward. So she was informing us and she was on part of the committee.
Let's see if we can.
And she knew a lot about the history of it.
Okay, so that's something. I wonder if the appeal documentation might tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, boss.
Can't get fired.
Continue with an agricultural use. The residential use occurring at the plot. So the commenting page 4 of the officer's report about housing land supply are not relevant to the determination of this appeal. Also important to note that the local planning authority considered the principle of the proposed use is acceptable at question 4 of the officer report read on page 7. Excuse me to look at. Lines. About between screens.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that, we're still for it.
Yeah, oh,
Yes, we
yes,
are.
yes,
Yes, thank you.
Have you any comments on this before you go?
No,
No? Anybody, is this your area, Lynn?
Western East,
No, it's one of the whites.
One of the white,
One of the whites.
yeah.
so that would be, is it Toft?
Depending on whether it's, if it's White North, it's councillor Weller and councillor Nicholson. If it's White South, it's councillor Toft and councillor Taylor.
I haven't had anything, have we? We haven't heard anything from.
No.
Councillor Taylor told me that he went through this before asking me to substitute, and he had no objections.
So. Do we either stick with our, well,
Yeah, I think we should stick with it. I vaguely remember the
Yeah.
discussion
it's
before.
Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy.
Yeah.
Is that actually a valid ground though, to be
Yeah.
concerned that there might be something in,
Yeah,
rather than we got a view?
these are allotments, and they're talking about keeping the sheds and the water tanks on the allotments. It was something behind it about who owned the land, or something that I really can't remember.
It's surely not up to us though.
Yeah. So we couldn't really see an issue there, I think. So we supported it at the time, or we raised no objection.
No, we objected. We
Yeah.
objected at the time on the grounds of potential legal dispute regarding the land.
Do we follow, with it being the World Heritage Site? That it could make
What-
it look,
Yeah, my default position on things like this is what do the locals say? Chickerell Town Council object to it, I'll support them, because I've got nothing to change my view on it. Well, I have to say, I do think our reason for the objection is slightly dubious.
Yes. Yeah. So, do we go back with no comment or we support? We've got to make a decision on it.
We can simply withdraw our representation if we want to.
My view is this has gone a bit beyond why we're here.
Yeah,
There's another level of legal proceeding going on here, isn't it?
yeah.
I realise we can comment. Do we have the necessary information to make a worthwhile comment? Is what I'm questioning.
So what do we do? Just withdraw our comment and leave it at that?
We can withdraw our original representation,
Okay.
which was the objection,
Yeah,
or we just leave it as it is.
well, what's the committee's view then?
What have we been asked to do?
To see whether or not we wish to change our original view on this.
Yeah, well, I'm with councillor Bell. I don't think we've got any information to be able to decide whether we change.
Yeah.
So I would stick with what we've got.
The extra additional information we've got is what the planning officer said about it. Could spoil a World Heritage Site.
Well, I would incline towards that.
In which case, we objected
We objected,
for slightly different reasons, but
so we just leave it as is.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, we have a proposal to leave as is, Mr. Surrey. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by councillor Clifford. All those in favour? Abstentions? One abstention.
Okay,
Right, we now move, because there is no item. Do we go to next? We've done Pirates Lane, we've done that, so we're on to item 10, which there is none, item 11, there is none. We now move on to item 12, which I think is councillor Bell.
So it's the corner of Fernhill Avenue and Coombe Avenue. I was approached by a member of the public raising concerns basically about sight lines around the corners. It is quite a wide junction, but the issue is there's been recent development at Lodmore Hill, which is just out of shot on the left. See where the yellow van is, or the yellow tipper truck, just past that on the left. That's added a lot of basically parked cars to the area. So the new development does have parking, but undoubtedly there's more parking going on than it can fit in Lodmore Hill itself.
Are we looking in the yellow van? Are we looking into Coombe Avenue there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
the
No, we're
yellow,
not looking,
the yellow van, we're looking. Is that looking into Coombe Avenue or looking?
or is it in
out?
Fernhill as the road goes
That's
round?
looking out of Coombe Avenue onto.
Can you go back up to the map? I
I
can,
think,
I'll show you the photos taken.
or do you want me to get Google Maps up,
So I was stood there taking it, looking that way.
looking out to Fernhill?
So the residents that approached me, the issue is increasing park cars, that's forcing cars to park ever closer to the junction. And that's making sightlines more difficult. The view of resident, and having knocked a lot of doors around there, it's more than one resident. Is that basically just needs that junction tidying up. So that vehicles are further back from the junction, just to give that bit more safety. They're not looking for any expensive chicanes or anything like that. This is
Do we have a form?
some lines to make that junction safer.
You have to fill it to bring to the,
Councillor Bell filled it out and I
yeah.
transferred the
Community
info
highway, or
to.
whatever it's called. Community highways.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
There's a general, much unobserved, there's
Yeah.
a general regulation preventing parking within 15 yards of the junction.
I've only ever seen it enforced at Rallypole School.
Yeah.
Where the police regularly go down and say, you can't park there, move on. I've never seen it anywhere else.
I agree.
So the feeling of the residents was some sort of marking on the ground would suffice. They're not looking for anything more dramatic than that. But if you go back to the pictures below, you can see that, you know, the parked cars are quite often actually. I'm not blaming the people parking. There is a lack of parking space, partly added to by the recent development. So that's I'm here to pass on the view of my views of my residents basically, and that's what they've come to me with.
Do you support them?
It's a junction I use regularly. My brother lives on one of the roads off Fernhill Avenue, so I use it regularly. I'm aware that there can be issues, particularly on the weekend. There seems to be more cars in the area for whatever reason.
What would they like done there?
WLA's around the corner.
Well, yeah.
Although if it's vehicles associated with work, then single yellow would be appropriate. If they're not there at the weekends.
Those particular vehicles are there all week. The additional issue that comes at the weekend is you end up with more cars parked on the other side of the road, making it all much narrower as well. I don't know if that's people using Lodmore Hill shops or whether it's people visiting or walk. Some people I think park in that area to walk to the beach. Not far from there.
Did you have any objectors while you were out?
No, it's just people that, yeah, during the election, they
Yeah.
open doors, what's the issue in the area is that, and then there's one particular gentleman that's pursued it with me and really wants to push it forward.
Let's face it, it's gonna be made, the decision's gonna be made somewhere else, it's just us pushing out the line, so.
This is the start of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So if we support the request,
yeah,
then I will send the details up to highways
please.
for them to assess and score.
So they'll say, how many accidents has there been? How many fatalities has there been? Forget the matrix that they go through. All of them.
Before they will consent to
Yeah.
yellow lines.
Or anything.
They might say yes, but you're about 1 millionth in the queue. You know, so it's that sort of, can be that sort of way. But anyway, we have obviously a proposer. We have a seconder in councillor Clifford. All those in favour of supporting them, yeah, it's unanimous. We now come down to traffic regulation orders, there are none. We come to item 14, which is just information items. Would anybody like to talk or mention any of the information items? No. Do we have a neighbourhood planning update?
No, I don't think there was anything further other than is detailed in the agenda. As stated at full council meeting on the 16th of October, the plan is as follows. Residents have 6 further opportunities to find out more, ask questions, comment, make representations and vote. On the 12th of November, Weymouth Town Council will publish an updated plan reflecting the comments made in the previous consultation. Residents can go online to find out what has changed. On the 14th of November, between 11 AM and 6 PM, there will be a drop-in session in the new Town Hall Commercial Road, this building. The neighbourhood plan will be available for inspection should anyone wish to have a look. So you can ask any clarification questions at that session. On the 20th of November at 7 o'clock, full council meeting, which this time round will be held in the Chesham Suite at the Rembrandt Hotel. Residents can raise any comments at the full council meeting to endorse the Weymouth neighbourhood plan being submitted to Dorset Council. In early January, residents will receive a leaflet from the steering group outlining the changes to the plan and the effect on Weymouth's future planning policies to encourage needed development in the right place to address issues raised by local people. In January and February 2025, residents will be able to feedback any comments in support or against the plan as part of the second formal consultation. In the second quarter of 2025, after the independent examination, the plan will be updated for the last time, and residents will be asked to vote in a referendum on whether they support the Weymouth neighbourhood plan or not. So,
I think we all knew that anyway, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
No new updates.
no new updates.
Right. And if that's the case, we have no emergency items. Yeah,
No,
item 16, please remind members to leave properly as officers will be locking the building as soon as possible. All right, so thank you all very much. I'll close the meeting.
I will